had to miss it this morning. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for this essential oils study. Real quickly, my name is Brooke, and just a little bit of my background. I've been in health and wellness for the past about 18 years, and I got into essential oils mostly because I found a common theme, and that theme was through my massage practice, my kettlebell practice, my coaching practice, I continue to see people just not feeling empowered enough to take responsibility for their own health. So I looked for a way that I could teach people how to feel empowered and take responsibility for their own health. And I needed a tool to do that. And that's how I found essential oils, because essential oils gives us that ability to treat ourselves, figure out what works for our body, and then make a decision if we're going to go natural or if we're going to use Western medication. So essentially, I'm in working with essential oils, mostly just to empower people. Okay, so again, thank you for taking part in our essential oils study. The intention is to let you experience the power of essential oils for your particular health goal or priority, to educate you on how to use essential oils, the benefit of essential oils, and why they're so effective. In addition to that, we're going to be using the outcomes for testimonials, and as well as just collecting data, and hopefully we will be able to collect enough data that we can actually put some use to it. So I'm excited. So thank you for being part of this test group. We have multiple focus groups going on at this time in this study. So you may be here because of sleep issues, or you're looking for solutions for pain or digestive issues. And some others are working with essential oils for stress and anxiety. So whatever focus group you're in, you'll have the opportunity over the next 10 days to expand your knowledge of essential oils and to listen to what others are doing as well. Okay, so just some things to know about essential oils. They're safe, effective, and all natural. But essential oils have been around for thousands of years, literally dating back to about 3500 BC when the Egyptians started using them for cosmetics and medication, and so much more. We can find evidence that during biblical times, essential oils were used, Chinese medicine used it. So essential oils have been around forever. But more recent centuries, we've been getting off track and not using natural things, and we started turning towards more synthetic medications, which has its place. Like my husband and my daughter wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Western medication, but those also have side effects. But people like yourself are really looking for natural solutions with no side effects. So I want to give you 3 cool things about essential oils. The first cool thing about essential oils is that they are 100% natural. When you're working with doTERRA essential oils, let me add that. So you can give them to kids, mothers, grandparents. I let my toddler self-medicate with her essential oils. They are made from plants, and because they're made from plant matter, your body knows exactly what to do with them. So you will be receiving your oils in the mail with either today or probably by Monday at the latest. So I want you to take just a little bit of notes here, so when you get your essential oils, you're going to know what to do with them. So I want you to have a chance to experience the essential oils. So you received a tiny bottle of peppermint. And when you get your peppermint oil, I'm going to have you take the lid off, tap the bottom upside down. You're going to put 1 drop in the center of your hand. And then you're going to take your pointer finger like this, and then you're going to touch the oil. Whatever you do, don't put that oil in your eye. If you accidentally do get it in your face or anywhere along that, you can just use a carrier oil to neutralize it. Remember, water and oil don't mix, so if you try to rinse an oil off, you're just going to spread that surface area. But if you use a carrier oil, you're going to neutralize it. A carrier oil can be coconut oil, avocado oil, canola oil, almond oil, anything like that. I like to use coconut oil because it's great for your skin, and doTERRA has a fractionated coconut oil that has the fats and lipids removed, so it removes the greasiness and it doesn't solidify. Okay, so now when you get your peppermint oil, I'm going to have you rub it in your hand and then touch it to the roof of your mouth. When you breathe in, all your sinuses are going to clear. Then I'm going to have you rub your hands together and inhale. And breathe in for about 30 seconds. It's pretty powerful. It's a really cool experience, but what that one drop of oil is the equivalent of 28 bags of tea. So that's just a really good note to pay attention to. Essential oils are highly, highly concentrated. Again, that drop of peppermint oil when you get your oil, that one drop is the equivalent of 28 bags of tea. So peppermint can be used for allergies, asthma, get rid of headaches, digestive issues. It's also good for pulling heat out of the system. So that essential oil that you have in your hand, you can go ahead and rub it in the back of your neck and you're going to have a cooling sensation. So this is great for cooling down after a workout, or even great for hot flashes. If your kiddo gets a fever, you can put the essential oil down their spine and it'll help lower or break that fever. Okay, so the first cool thing about essential oils is that they are 100% natural. Okay, the second cool thing about essential oils is that they often work better than medication. So I'm going to go back to Biology 101 here. If you are in the health profession, just know that you probably are going to do a better job than teaching this than I'm going to, but just for demonstration's sake, bear with me. So I'm going to demonstrate on an essential oil bottle here. So if you can imagine that this is a cell, the cell has a membrane, and it's that membrane's job to keep what should be in, and things that should be out. So there are two things that can hurt a cell, and one is bacteria, and one is a virus. So what happens when you go to the doctor and you have a bacterial infection, he will give you antibiotics. And the reason that antibiotics work is that bacteria are too big to penetrate that cell membrane. So they hang out on the outside in this oily substance. And you take the antibiotics, and it'll kill the bacterial infection. However, there are side effects when you take antibiotics, and what can happen is, number one, you can become resistant to antibiotics. They are hard on the liver, and when you take the antibiotics, they kill off everything in your intestinal flora. And this is important to recognize because after you take those antibiotics, it can take up to 2 years to recreate that flora in your digestive system. And the reason that that's important is because 70% of your immune system starts in your gut. So, and that's just another reason why we want to try to avoid taking antibiotics. Okay, so let's talk about viruses. When you go to the doctor and the doctor says you have a viral infection, you're just going to have to go home, drink some fluids, get some rest, and let it run its course. He can't give you antibiotics because viruses don't hang out on the outside. They're actually small enough to penetrate that cell membrane, so they go into the nucleus of the cell. So what happens is that virus will just get into the cell and just keep duplicating until the nucleus eventually fights it off. So because an essential oil is made from the same material that you are, it has the ability to penetrate this cell wall and get in and fight the virus and help it to stop from duplicating. Okay, so the second cool thing about essential oils is that they are more effective than medication. Okay, so the third thing about essential oils is that they're cost effective. So let's say that your kid gets an ear infection. You go to the doctor, what do you pay? In like an in-person, you're going to pay about $30 for your copay. You're going to pay for your prescription. So if you get generic, we'll just say 10, 20 bucks, I guess. So $30 at the doctor's office, and then you had to take off work. So it can be pretty pricey if you look at it, just to treat an ear infection. Excuse me. Okay. So, and then on top of that, how long do you have to take the antibiotics that he just gave you? Typically about 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. Okay, so at our house, when our kid gets an ear infection, I use 2 drops of basil, 2 drops of melaleuca, 2 drops of lavender, and I put it behind her ear, and then along her jawline. It's right through here. And then a few drops on a cotton ball inside the ear. My total cost is about 63 cents. That's way cheaper than even the gas to get to the doctor. We still go to the doctor sometimes just to get a diagnosis, and then I can decide how we're going to approach treating whatever she has going on. So the third cool thing about essential oils is that they are cheaper and more cost effective. Okay, so 3 ways to use essential oils is aromatically, topically, and internally. Aromatically, so if we put our thumb and our pointer finger right here on the bridge of our nose, that is what you're connecting to is your olfactory nerve. So when a molecule from your essential oil enters your nasal passage, it goes through a membrane, and those molecules hit your olfactory nerve, travel to the back of your head. Along that nerve, they hit your hippocampus, and then they hit your limbic system back here. So your limbic system is your emotional regulatory system. So this is why aromas and stuff create memory. So I always thought it was strange when you go and get like a dental procedure, and they don't give you a shot to put you out. They give you anesthesia, and they put it right over your nose, and then have you count to 10, and you're out by, 8? And that's because all of those molecules are hitting your olfactory nerve, going to your limbic system, and just telling you, chill out, go to sleep. That's basically how that works. So, okay, where did I want to go from here? So let's talk about anxiety real quick. So if a person is having an anxiety attack, they go and take their anti-anxiety medication, take that pill, ingest it, and it takes, we'll say 15 minutes to start metabolizing. So they're having a panic attack, and then they have another 15 minutes to wait before their medication has metabolized enough to bring their system down. With essential oils, when you inhale that, you're going to have a reaction within about 5 to 7 seconds. I don't know about you, but having an anxiety attack, I definitely want it to go away as quickly as possible. Okay, so aromatically, you can diffuse, inhale. I see a lot of people putting it on necklaces so that they can inhale that way. Okay, topically is the second way to use essential oils. So if you have an ailment, if your shoulder hurts, if you have a fungus, if you have a cut, if you have anything like that, you're going to put your essential oil right on the issue. So if you have, say you have a sore muscle, you're going to take your Deep Blue, put it right on the muscle that is sore. I would also recommend using a carrier oil, such as your fractionated coconut oil, because what that's going to do is draw the oils in even faster. Okay, so I also recommend using a carrier oil in case the oil is just a little too spicy or is what we call a hot oil. So like oregano would be a hot oil. I wouldn't recommend putting that directly on your skin. I'd recommend putting that on with a carrier oil, and definitely on an area of your body that has thicker skin, like your feet. Okay, so that's topically. And then the second way to use essential oils is internally. So this is important to understand. When you see supplemental facts on the side of a doTERRA bottle, that means that these essential oils are able to be ingested. So what I like to do, if I'm going to ingest an essential oil, I either use glass or stainless steel to drink out of. Reason being is any citrus oils is going to break down the petrochemicals if you're using glass, or I'm sorry, if you're using plastic, and certainly it's going to break it down if it is styrofoam. So always use glass or stainless steel. You can always put your essential oil in the veggie cap as well if you don't like the taste. Okay, so the 3 ways to use essential oils are aromatically, topically, and internally. Okay, so you should realize that not all essential oils are the same, and not all essential oils are safe. So you've probably noticed that essential oils are popping up everywhere, like Walmart, Walgreens. I've seen them at Barnes and Noble. There's definitely different grades of essential oils. You also probably realized or noticed that so many essential oils out there say 100% pure or 100% natural or organic. Let's talk about that for a second. So the FDA doesn't regulate essential oils. They say 3% of this bottle has to be pure. That means the rest of this 97% of this bottle can be synthetic fillers, and they can label it pure. So it's very, very important to know where you are getting your essential oils. So there are different types of essential oils, synthetic, and those are the ones that are toxic chemicals, cleaners, air fresheners, candle scents. Those are the ones that, like the Glade plugins or any kind of candles that you're burning, those are all pretty much synthetic. And then you're going to get oils that are your food grade oils. They're pretty poor quality, but the FDA does say that you can ingest them. I wouldn't use those if you are doing something to support your wellness. Then the next grade is therapeutic grade. And those are sold to support your wellness, and you'll see on the side of the bottles it'll say therapeutic grade. You'll often see these in massage therapists, chiropractic offices. But again, essential oils are not regulated. They're not tested. Most brands don't do a third-party testing, and oftentimes you'll find fillers or preservatives, heavy metals, and even pesticides in the essential oils that say therapeutic grade. doTERRA has gone above and beyond, and we have created what's called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. This is a doTERRA quality standard, and what that means is each batch of oil that is distilled goes through 4 levels of testing, or 4 kinds of testing, and within those testing processes, there's about 4 different tests that they go into. And then the last part of our testing process, we get a third-party lab that continues to test for any contaminants or heavy metals or anything that might have contaminated the oil through the distillation process or anything like that. So doTERRA oils go beyond organic. Okay, so let's talk about your protocols. So for the next 5 days, you're only going to use 1 oil this week. And then we're going to do another call. It'll be a brief call, and it's just going to quickly explain how to use oil number 2 that came in your packages. Okay, so for those of you that are in your sleep study, your first product is going to be lavender. For the person that is allergic to lavender, you're going to use spikenard. Okay, so lavender comes from flowers of the plants. It's known for its calming and relaxing qualities. It helps ease feelings of tension. It's also great for, just as a little side note, it's great for skin, it's great for bug bites, it's also great for burns. But if you like the smell of it, you can sprinkle a couple drops on your pillow, breathe it in. What I like to do when I can't sleep, I will put lavender on my big toe, because that's the brain center according to reflexology. So I'll put lavender on my big toe, and then I will put it here. I like to put it here right under my nose so I get that extra inhale, and then right through here. And if you'd like to, you can sprinkle a few drops on your pillow. And just to let you know, these oils aren't oily, so they're not going to stain your sheets. Okay, so those of you that are in the pain study, you're going to be using Deep Blue oil this week. This is an oil blend. It has wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and helichrysum in it. So it's chock full of really strong ingredients. What I'd like you to do is wherever your tension is, your low back, shoulders. For me, I get a lot of tension right through here, so I'll just put Deep Blue oil directly on my injury site, cover it with some a carrier oil, just rub it in. So the Deep Blue is great for sore muscles, joints, headaches. It's great for headaches. You can put it on your temples or under your ears, back of the neck, but keep it away from your eyes. It does have peppermint in it, so it can be considered a hot oil. Okay, so those of you that are in the digestion study, you're going to be using Digest Zen this week, which is a blend of ginger, peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel. So this is great if you have bloating, gas, heartburn, nausea, indigestion. What I'm going to have you do is apply 3 to 4 drops to your belly. Again, if you use a carrier oil, it's going to spread pretty nicely. If you're having any bowel issues, diarrhea, or constipation, you can put a small drop in a shot glass and add water. So you're going to put about 3 to 4 drops. And just to let you know, the sample bottles that you guys are receiving, 3 drops, if you tap the bottom, you get 3 drops. That's the equivalent of 1 drop coming out of a regular bottle. So if you're putting 3 to 4 drops in a shot glass, it's actually going to be 12 drops coming out of your sample bottles. Okay, so anytime that you're having any of the symptoms, rub 2 to 3 drops over your abdomen and stomach. If you have anything going on, then take it daily in the morning and even in the evening. What I like to do, if I know that I'm going to be eating outside of my norm, I will put 2 drops of Digest Zen in an 8-ounce glass of water, and then that keeps me pretty regular, especially if I know that I'm doing like a lot of breads and cheeses that normally stop me up. So, okay, and then for those of you doing the stress and anxiety, you're going to use the wild orange. Now, all of you got wild orange in your packet, in your little packages. Because peppermint and wild orange go amazingly together. Quick side note, wild orange and peppermint together is great for focus and concentration. But for those of you that are in the stress and anxiety, you're going to use the wild orange first. Wild orange comes from the rind, does not come from the actual fruit like people might think. But what I'd like you to do is when you're feeling stressed or anxious, I'm going to have you put 2 drops in your hand and just inhale. Cut through your nose, just like I'm going to have you do with your peppermint when you guys get it in the mail. 10 deep, long breaths. Keep inhaling your wild orange. And then when you're done with the wild orange, you're just going to rub it on the back of the neck. Okay, pretty easy, pretty simple. If you know that you're going to have a big high stress and anxiety day, you want to just incorporate this in your daily, in your morning routine and probably late afternoon. You can also add it to your water too, and it'll have a lot of the same effects. Okay, so in closing, you should have already taken your pre-survey. If you haven't, please do so that we can record your results. As you use your oils, make notes about how you feel. Really consciously think about it. How does it smell? Am I calmer? Does my stomach feel better? Has the pain changed? Is my heart beating slower? You know, all of those symptoms that you have that made you interested in joining this study, really be conscientious of just observing those. Okay, so now I just really want to point out that it's important to note that just like medication, not all oils work the same for all people. So the more that we study them, the more we understand them. And what I would like you to know is that if you try an oil for the first 5 days and it's not working for you, let me know. We're going to find something else that's going to work for you. It's the same thing like medication. If you go to the doctor and the doctor's like, oh, or you're like, that's not working for me, your doctor's going to find something else. Those do have side effects. But with the essential oils, we can really experiment, find what's going to work for you without any side effects, and then tailor what we need to do specifically for you. So every few days we're going to text or call you just to check on you and see how things are going. We're also going to be placing all of you in a Facebook group. It'll be called Wellness Friends, Essential Oils, Effectiveness, and You Should Study. And I'll friend you if we're not already friends. And then put you in there. But it is a closed group and it's only for participants of the study. Okay, so again, I'm just going to be posting things within the group. It's going to have meeting reminders. We're going to have a mid-study just quick call, and that's going to tell you how to use your second sample. And as far as that, I think we're all done. If you have any questions, please text me, and I will get you all added to that Facebook group on Monday. So thanks so much for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll talk to you later.